welcome to the Teaming Up Show, your guide to the future of real estate. I think I got that. I'm Josh Pomerleau. That's Nate's line. I don't know. So
it doesn't come natural.
No, it doesn't come natural. Nate just made that up. So no, he forces me to say that in every single one. I'm Josh. This is Sarah again. We're going to talk about first phone screening interviews.
Yep.
So when obviously as you're building a team, you need people to work on the team, right? As you're building it. So what are we going to do to make sure that we are finding? We already talked about
how did the resumes
went, the sources of talent, but how are we going to make sure now we like a resume?
We don't want to waste time in person.
Right, and we like the resume that came through, and we want to talk to that person and see if they're going to be a good hire. So
you chose a resume, you emailed them, you set up a time to talk, and then you called them. So I was gonna show you how natural it comes.
Yeah, so we're only gonna do like a minute here.
Yeah.
But, okay, yep.
Ring.
Where are you going?
I'm calling you.
Okay.
Isn't this what people do when they fake call?
Yeah, okay. Well, ring. Hello?
Hi, is this Josh?
Yeah, this is Josh.
Hi, Josh. This is Sarah giving you a call from the Pomerleau Real Estate Team. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Very good.
I think.
Very good. Do you have a few minutes to chat here?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is first go through some of your resume here and then go through some additional questions that I have. Does that sound good?
That sounds phenomenal.
Okay, great. So when I take a look at your resume here, can you tell me a little bit about your position most recently at Select Comfort?
Yeah, man.
That's it. Okay, what I wanted to say, you don't have to tell me about your Select Comfort.
I wanted to talk about Select Comfort.
What I wanted to say is that what I say not the same every single time.
Yeah.
Like it's not ever different.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to give up control of the call as soon as I call. Hi, how are you? Great. Can I ask you a few questions about the job? No. Like I'm calling. Right. I've lined up. I line them up 15 minutes apart, and I'm just going through them like this. And so I don't want to give up control of the call, and that's why I wanted to do an example so that he did not have an opportunity really to say anything because I was closing him every time with great.
That's great.
I'm not a salesperson, but if you do enough of them, then
sold me.
then you don't have to. I don't know. You just don't lose.
So my question is, I have a question with that. And I guess I'm kind of steering you to this, but is it one of the reasons why you're doing that is so that you can get out of them all the information you need to make sure that they're a good fit for a team, not them to mirror or mold themselves into someone who you think you would need?
Because what I can see is someone calling who maybe hasn't done this before. Hi, I'm calling from the Pomerleau Real Estate Team, and I got your resume here, and I'm just kind of looking at it. How are you today? Oh, I'm good. And then all of a sudden you're like, can I ask you, what are you looking for? Or, is this your first interview? Or I want to make sure you got my resume. How's the weather? Like, what? Like, I'm trying to be, in order to judge people against each other, you have to have a standard. So I guess I'm just having the standard be like flat.
No,
and I'm not having any inflection in my voice. Even when they're answering questions, I don't really agree with what they're saying or disagree. I don't say, oh yeah, me too. Like you'd be the worst at interviewing.
I know. That's what I was going to say.
They'd be like, I went to the U of N. You'd be like, me too. And I'm like, I went to the U of M. I'm like, great. What year did you graduate? Or whatever you say there. So
team owners, listen to that because there's going to be a lot of people that have very similar profiles to me. Even though my Vector 2 is my sociability is my third on my scale, meaning that it's not I don't lead with it, but it's still high enough.
You like to relate with people like a salesperson.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to want to relate with them more than caring about getting out the information that I absolutely need to get out of.
Right.
So that's pretty amazing that you had that.
People will fumble and say kind of like jokes, like you ask them, tell me a few words that best describe you, and they'll say, or tell me what your pet peeves are. That's a great question I ask. And they'll say something really funny. They'll be like, when people chew with their mouth open and they kind of laugh, and I don't even really laugh with them. I'm just like, oh, great. And then I just kind of go into, like, what have you thought about your long-term career goals or a dream job? What's next for you?
Right,
stuff like that.
Right, have you had a big fallout from the people that so say you did an interview on someone that you actually really loved on the phone. Have you had any fallout from them saying, no, I don't want to join your company because
it was too boring?
Because you just grilled me and it sounds like that's a place I don't want to work.
No, I think where you can make that mistake is if you get a personal referral of somebody who is coming to you super warm, you've got to warm them up initially on the call and then go into your questions. So I do adjust it a little bit. If someone's coming to me warm, I'll try to build a little rapport in the beginning, but I let them know that I'm going to go through kind of my normal questions that I would ask anyone.
Okay, so Well, I want to follow
I
up.
don't think I've followed.
No,
I
no,
don't think there's fallout from it.
No, but I hear the limiting beliefs on the other side of this camera,
right.
and I hear people that have been so successful in sales roles, getting people to work
them.
with them or work with them, and they got them to work with them because they got them to like them.
Right.
So I think a lot of people in the back of their heads are going to have like maybe a limiting belief to say that, no, I'm really good. This has worked really well for me in sales,
Yeah.
but you've hired some of the best people, and you've built one. You've helped build.
You need to know that what you're recruiting them into is of value. So I think if you believe what they're coming into, then you don't have to like overcompensate to sell yourself to like you, right?
Right.
Because I actually believe that the right person would be an amazing fit here and they'd have an amazing life.
So I want to, before I forget this question, because you cut me off a little bit. I want to make sure.
Usually you cut me
I
off.
I do all the time. You're right, but I want to make sure I answer.
From
You do learn. That's bad. Okay, I'm just gonna quit now. That's good. What I was gonna say is, say you really like someone on the phone. You did your first interview, and say it went a little bit longer because you're asking a lot of questions. You're getting a lot out of them.
Unlikely, but yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't. So you
So do
usually
you want to know my
do it.
difference if I like them or not?
Yes,
Okay,
I want to do it.
If I don't like them, all I say is, and I ask them about their long-term career goals, and I say, great, that sounds good. So what I'm going to do here, Ashley, is I'm going to go through your resume with my coworker, and then circle back around to you via email if another interview is requested. Does that sound good? Yeah, great, thanks. Hang up.
Okay.
But if I like them,
Yep.
I say, great, thank you so much, Ashley. What I'm going to do here is go through your resume here with my coworker, and then I'm going to send you an email either later today or tomorrow morning with a suggested time for us to meet in person. Does that sound great? Great.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
it. That's the only
it's
difference.
really that little of a difference.
Yeah,
And you're not building any rapport.
No, because I can tell really quickly whether I want to bring them in or not.
Yep.
And so if I need to bring them in, I don't want to have to go through the exact same questions with other people that are joining me in the interview.
Gotcha.
And then they get annoyed. So
Makes
I try to
sense.
wrap it up quickly. If they're awesome, bring them in.
Right. And an awesome person is going to respect that you're respecting their time too, because you're not, so that you don't have to ask all the same questions, then do it all again, because you have your process and they trust you
Right.
that they're
I
interviewing
told
at your
them I'm
company.
going to email you, so
Right.
that's then they can breathe easy at night. I feel bad for the other people where I say, great, I'm going to go with my coworker, and then if there's an interview, I'll circle back around. But I don't know how else to say it because I don't want them to have a bad. I don't want to be like, nope, you're actually not great for the role. Thank you.
No, and I think
I leave it open ended if they email
don't we
back.
have the love for people? I mean, that's kind of in our
I'm respectful
our
and
core
nice.
values. We
Yeah.
believe that all people are inherently valuable.
Yes.
So we are respecting them too, because if it's not going to be a right fit for us, it's not going to be a right fit for them. No way.
Right.
They're not going to love the role if it's not the role that would work for the company, because every day they're going to show up and we're going to be like, this is wrong, this is wrong,
Yeah.
this is wrong, this is
Yeah.
wrong. And so it's not going to matter if they're talented or not. They're just not going to fit that role.
Right.
So we don't want to waste their time. We don't want to waste our time. In both. It's a mutual win-win
Good.
scenario. So
That's the first.
definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. I think from a person who's been in the sales background and selling real estate, they're building a team because they have too many deals coming in, right?
Yeah.
That this would be a little bit of a hard gap to jump when they maybe really leverage their abilities in their sales,
Yeah.
because
Just
that's
like
what a lot
it'd
of
be so
people.
hard for me to sit down and sell some. It's just the opposite skill set. I'd have a
Right.
really hard time selling something.
Right.
People wouldn't relate or feel a good vibe. You know?
Right. So really good perspective on that. We're going to do, so tune in, we're going to do one more video with Sarah.
In-person
And we're going to talk about an in-person. What does an in-person interview look like? And if you have any questions from this video where we could go a little bit deeper with like a first interview call, or any other thoughts that you had with the interview and you wanted, just reach out to us. Put something on teamingup.com under this video or anywhere on the site, and we'll get back to you, and we maybe can do another video about going deeper with your question if you had one. So
Great.
Thanks for coming up to the Teaming Up show.
Thanks.